Extend all the horizontal lines, that's the waistline, the hip line, the crotch, the knee, and the ankle or the trouser length. From point L, go out half an inch and mark this point S. From point S, draw a line upwards to meet the waistline level and mark this intersection as T. From T, go out a quarter of an inch and mark this U. From this point, mark out a quarter of the waist measurement and label this mark V. Where the line ST intersects on the hip level, mark this point as W. From this point, measure and mark out a quarter of the hip measurement, subtracting a quarter of an inch. Mark this point X. From point M, go in a straight line for about a quarter of an inch and use a curve ruler to connect this point to W, and this becomes the crotch line. From point X on the hip level, draw a straight line down to meet the ankle level or the trouser length and mark this point Y. Get the midpoint between Y and N and draw a straight line through this midpoint until you get to the crotch level. This line becomes the pressing line. Mark out a quarter of the ankle's measurement, subtracting a quarter of an inch on the intersection line on the trouser length. Mark these 2 points, Y1 and Y2. Repeat same for the knees intersection, marking out a quarter of the knees measurement, subtracting a quarter of an inch, and label this Z1 and Z2. Use a ruler to join these points, that's Y1 and Z1, then Z2 and Y2. Then use a curve ruler to join the top part. Try and avoid any sharp corners. Use the curve ruler to smooth out all the sides, joining the top level to the bottom level. Label all your lines properly, like you've got the waistline, the hip line, the crotch, the knee level, the pressing line or the gradient. From the outer seam line on the waist level, go down 5 inches and go in 1.5 inches. Use a ruler to join these 2 points, or you can just draw a straight line with a straight ruler or use a curve ruler to get a curve. To get the width of the pocket, extend the pressing line upwards to meet the waist level. Get the midpoint between the hip level and the crotch level and extend this point outwards towards the outer seam. You can use a different colored pencil to mark out the pockets. If you want to make the end to have a curvy nature, you can just take it in about 1.5 inches both ways and use a ruler to join the point, and then you have a curve. You can get rid of all the void lines and check to make sure that all the lines are properly traced out before cutting. Measure and mark out the seam allowance. On this occasion I'm using 3/4 of an inch. You can join the lines before cutting out. At the hem seam allowance I'm using 2 inches, and before cutting I fold the paper backwards. You can start cutting out your pattern. You can do it slowly and carefully so as not to make any errors, and follow all the curves of the pattern. And that's your front and back pattern for the ladies' trouser done. For the pocket pattern, you need a pattern paper the size 16 inches by 12 inches. You need to fold this into two and secure them to the main trouser pattern for the front. Using a tracing wheel and some tracing paper, trace out the pocket pattern. Follow the tracing lines and cut out the pocket pattern. Once this is done, place it back on the front trouser pattern and cut out the curved part on the front part of the pattern.